Handsome. Great striking. Brother, great wrestling. Good looks. Did I say that already? Physique. Crazy aura. Those words describe Kenny Okoye. But in today's video, this is off topic. I just want to talk about why Islam Makhachev will never lose. Dude, I've assessed some film. I actually went back yesterday night after I ended my live stream and I was like, let me just watch Islam Makhachev film. I was feeling a little bit anxious about the Arman Tsarukyan fight. So I was like, how good really is Islam Makhachev? So I watched his recent fights, specifically with Dustin, the Volk fights, and the Charles fight. And I came to a conclusion that, unfortunately, if you don't like Islam Makhachev, I'm sorry, because he'll never lose again. And I had to say again because technically, Pantoja went in there and he fraud maxed, Pantoja went in there, keep in mind. A flyweight went in there and got a lucky knockout, man. It's just crazy, dude. And then, now he's a flyweight champion. So that fraud check, well, it wasn't a fraud check. That fluke check, that's what it's called. Fluke check. Fluke checks. Let me define that real quick. Fluke checks. Something that should never happen. Like Paul Craig submitting Anchor Live. Paul Craig submitting even Jamal Hill. Fluke checks are just to keep people, let people know that you could do the impossible in life. Bobby Green knocking out Grant Dawson. It's possible to go in there and just show anyone that anything could be done. You know what I'm saying? Is it lucky? Of course. You guys aren't not actually better than these fighters. You're fluke checking your way to a win. But without further ado, I don't want to get too much off topic. I'm going to talk about why Islam Makhachev will never lose and just highlight how perfect this guy is, brother. Dale. So without further ado, let's get into the video. And I want to start with this first point. His striking. He's abnormally a good striker, and he's people think he's like one of the best grapplers. He might be better at striking than grappling. Yeah. All right, I'm kind of pushing it, but I'm gonna explain why he's so good at striking. One, he doesn't take risks. He learned from the Pantoja fight. All right, he earlier in his career, it wasn't that he took crazy risks, but he was a little bit better with staying in the pocket, or not really better, but he was a little bit more complacent in the pocket. Now, if you watch Islam Makhachev's fights, he's always using his range very well. He's always out of range all the time, so he doesn't take risks. He's not going to sit in the pocket in front of you for too long. He's going to try to leave you out the pocket, and he'll lean back a lot of times. Sometimes he leans way out of range, not even to be able to throw a counter strike, but you miss. And what this does in turn, it gets people frustrated. So they're trying to land on Islam, they're throwing big punches at Islam. Islam's just leaning back, he's out the way, and they're like, oh my god, he's out of there. They get frustrated, so they try to double up on something, and then once that happens, he leans back, sits down, and counters you right in the jaw, which I said great counter punches, because all this leaning back, you're like, okay, so he's just going to run for me the whole time. I could actually just go in there and try to hurt him and impose my dominance. And then once they do that, that's when they get counterpunched. And I'm actually going to show some evidence of this. So this is a prime example. When Islam was fighting Volk, Islam, the whole sequence of this fight, kept leaning back away from Volk, not really giving Volk a chance to land. So Volk was like, all right, let me just get in range, get in closest, and I'm going to try to hit him. And then once Volk tries to get in range, look what happens. He gets in range, throws, Islam's out of there. And he's frustrated. He's like, okay, so he left off with a leg kick. That was a great adjustment by Volk. So, and then he was like, okay, I got to just do that again. I just got to close enough, and then I got to throw one more strike, and maybe I'll land on him. He does it again, but this time he has it red. He goes into the body, and then Islam's already out, but he thinks Islam's going to back up abnormally far away out of punching range. But this is when Islam sits down in counter-striking range and then hits him with a counter-strike, sending his head bobbling back. I don't know if you guys can see his head after that. Goes bobbling back, you know what I'm saying? And then look at him setting up knees and knee to the body, which is another one of his best weapons. It's just relentless. He's relentless after that. Once he has you hurt and smells blood, he shows that he's a great striker technically all the way around. So I just wanted to show you guys that real quick. And on top of that, I'm going to show you the Dustin Poirier fight. This was the first counterpunch of the fight. Dustin comes in, and look how quick Islam is to slip, because after watching film on Islam, you expect him to always lean back out of range, which he does a lot, but look how he just slips this punch into a counter strike. People don't understand how good of a counter strike he is, and Dustin's a great boxer himself. Dustin throws, immediately he slips to the right, and then he counter strikes him over the top. Boom. And then he even follows up with 1, 2, 3. Another one. Look how quick those hands are. Look at it in full speed. Look how fast the counter strike actually goes. Slip. Ooh, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Then he's back on that pressure. Look at his knees. Like I said, his knees, one of his best weapons, straight punches. And this is one of the best boxers in the UFC. Keep in mind, he's doing this too. So it's just that Islam Makhachev not only is counter striking, but you can see the way he leans back. He looks like he's moving back, then he sits down in his punches. He's just tough to time. Look how he slips always to the right, finish off with the knee. Islam Makhachev striking, brother. I'm telling you, this guy's special, man. He's special. But I think you guys get the gist of it, of his striking, bro. So like he doesn't really take a lot of risks. He has great counter punches. The way he slip strikes, his clinch strikes, his knees, his kicks. Of course, he finished Volk in the second fight with a kick knockout. When he had Volk hurt in the first fight, he followed up with a kick and sent Volk wobbling back even more. And this all helps that he has a takedown threat. Just the fact that he has a takedown threat, people are a little bit more weary to stand up and try to strike with Islam because like, okay, fuck, what if he tries to take me down, this, that, and the third. So people think his wrestling's his best attribute. I'm telling you, if you actually look at his striking, strike for strike, he's very hard to land on, and he does a really good job after he kind of punches you to always follow up with the shots. And if he smells blood, good luck, bro. So I want to preface his striking because I think it's really impressive. Moving on to what people think is his best thing, which I agree with to a sense, to a sense, yes. His grappling, I put Sambo in parentheses because that's where he gets a lot of his grappling base from. He has great judo throws. He has great sweeps, all that stuff. And I actually want to show you guys the sweeps he was having against Arman Tsarukyan in the first fight because those are impressive sweeps to me. This right here is when Islam and Arman were a little bit tangled up in the clinch. And as Arman's trying to throw some strikes in the clinch, and immediately when he throws up a knee, look how quickly Islam is to react and then land a clean sweep on him. Boom. That easy. Before that knee even comes down. And straight into full mount, bro. And don't get it twisted. Arman Tsarukyan can grab, oh, dude, it was Arman's debut, dude. Of course, it's Arman's debut, but that doesn't change the fact that Islam Makhachev was still showing him levels. It wasn't like Islam was an old man over here. He was still experienced. They're both experienced. Islam said he didn't even know like who Arman was before. He didn't know Arman was gonna be a great wrestler. So it was kind of like a wake-up call for Islam to actually do homework on his opponents. But look how quickly he timed that sweep to just put Arman on his back. Yeah, I just want to preface how quick he is with his judo throws and judo sweeps. If you look at the Oliveira fight as well, I didn't show it now, and against Oliveira, he did a really good job judo throwing him when he was up against the fence. If you're in a clinch position with Islam Makhachev, just look for his trips or his judo throws because he's always going to try to do one on you. He's very successful with it. As for open cage, I feel like his best weapon is to like back you up against the fence, then use a single leg. He's tried double legs, they succeeded before, but his best work has always been his single legs. I've noticed that. And on top of that, I want to say Python squeeze for his grappling because sometimes, look at the Drew Dober fight. Sometimes Islam's in an awkward position, but he's so strong. Brother, his back, brother, this guy back, brother, we have to check this guy's moment. Like, why is his back look like that? His back is huge. Like, when he squeezes, you can literally see veins popping out like this, the bone, the muscle. Like, it's weird. He's abnormally strong. And then I said striking threat, man. People always talk about the grab. Oh, dude, the takedown threat. Bro, what about the striking threat? People are so scared of getting... It's turned into a fact that people are so scared of getting striking with this guy that the takedowns are opening him up. So I said striking threat. I think we got to talk about... Why does no one ever say striking threat, man? It's always, oh, dude, the takedown threat, bro. So the takedown threat, bro. Like, yes, the takedown threat opens up striking, but the striking threat opens up takedowns. When they're like, oh my God, is Islam going to strike with me? Boom! You get taken down and dumped on your head. Like, the striking threat's a real thing, and I'm gonna start pushing that narrative, man. It's not a takedown threat anymore for Islam, it's a striking threat, man. Yeah. Woo! I love that he's such a good striker now, man. I can finally say something like that. Okay, but yeah, jokes aside, I do think the striking threat's a real thing for Islam Makhachev. And I also want to preface this. I already kind of talked about it earlier, but how good he is defensively. Like, a lot of people, like, even when he sits in the pocket, he knows when to like get in and get out. He knows how to use his clinch to defend pretty well. He's just very good defensively. I said overly cautious in striking sometimes because sometimes, like, I wasn't showing in the highlights I played, but he'll literally back up way out of range. Like, it does a good job setting up like his opponents when they try to like double up stuff, because then he will slip to the side and counter you. But like sometimes I feel like it takes a little bit of energy out of him, a abnormal amount of energy. A lot of Dagestani like who are good strikers, preferably in the Khabib camp, like Usman, Nurmagomedov, even Umar and Islam, they kind of do stuff where like they just get really out of range. You know what I'm saying? But their endurance is so good, they're allowed to do that. But it's just a little bit, I just feel like it's overly cautious, but it makes him not get hit. He doesn't absorb a lot of significant strikes. And that's at top tier defensive wrestling, as you saw in the Arman fight. He's really good at defending takedowns, etc., etc. And then great scrambles. If you get him down, like Arman got him down, but Arman couldn't hold him down because Islam's constantly moving. He's constantly doing a good job scrambling. You can't, like, I've never seen someone hold Islam down. Was it Thiago Moises who got him down on his back and then he like powered through? Thiago Moises had him like a really good position, I feel like. I think it was Moises. And then like he reversed him really cleanly. Like, it's just hard to hold him down because even if you get him down, you got to deal with the scrambling. So Arman Tsarukyan's going to have a long night in front, man. I think Arman Tsarukyan's going to have a long night. Then I said improved chin. I could have just said great chin, but I guess I have to say improved because he's been finished. Dude, he's been finished in the past. Dude, he's not even cowabunga anymore. Dude, bro, his chin is very much improved. I think his chin, he could take any amount of shots on it. If you guys look at a Dustin Poirier fight, I swear there was a time Dustin hit him so clean. Like, I'm saying so clean in the chin. Bro licked his fingers after that shit. That nigga ate it. He didn't even react to it. I was like, what the hell? I was like, and it sounded heavy. It looked heavy. And Dustin hits hard. I've seen Dustin put people to sleep. You know what I'm saying? But Islam just ate it. So I feel like his chin's very much improved. So if you guys are worried about, oh, dude, Armin might just fraud knock him out, bro. That's not gonna, brother. Who this guy, brother? He has power, brother. Benil Dariush, you knocked this guy out, brother. That's not power. Benil just got knocked out by Charles the fight before. So I think his chin's improved. I'm gonna say improved. I could say just goated, but I'm gonna say improved. But not only defense, chat, finishing ability everywhere. When a fighter's so good that you don't really want to stand with them because you don't want to get slept, and you don't want to go on the ground with them because you don't want to get submitted, where do you go? I know where to, just don't go to the fight. Don't show up. Why would you show up if you know that you're probably going to get finished on the feet or on the ground? I feel like his best, like the most comfortable he'll be to finish a fight would probably be on the ground, just because that's like where he's been his whole life, kind of training in Dagestan. But his KO ability is starting to put people on notice. His power, dropping Charles, you know what I'm saying, hurting Dustin, bro, knocking out Volk. This guy got power, brother. Be careful. So his KO threat, it's definitely opening up. So the fact that you have finishing ability everywhere is just very scary if you're fighting Islam, because what are you gonna, you're gonna have to make some choices. I think Armin's gonna have to make some tough choices, whether he wants to strike or whether he wants to wrestle. And just to wrap up, I said overall what he does the best and what makes him unbeatable. I said he mixes it up well in good timing. So when you mix up stuff well, when you're striking with your opponent, okay, we're striking. Oh no, now we're wrestling. Wait, how am I defending a takedown? Oh, how did I just get kneed in the face? Why am I getting hit in the clinch? Why am I getting hit in the strikes? Why am I getting out wrestled? That's what he does so well. So I'm gonna give him credit there. Like, listen, if you can mix it up well and you have good timing attached to it, it makes you damn near hard to beat. Then I said he has too much moving parts. It goes to the mix it up well. Like, he's too good at a lot of things that you got to be wary about everything. And when you're so wary about what another guy's good at, you're not going to get your offense off. That's why I feel like Islam has a hard time to, even if you have competitive fights with him, it's still hard to beat him because he's just better than you at more things and he can mix it up better than you can. That's really what it comes down to. So I look at that too. I say too much moving parts. Then last but not least, brother, this is a hot take, whatever. Top 3 in every martial art in the UFC today. Top 3 striker in the UFC, top 3 wrestler, top 3 BJJ, top 3 hairline, top 3 physique. Brother, you name it, bro. You guys can say what you want to say. I'm going to stand by that narrative, and this is why he's not going to lose. So I know people are a little bit nervous, brother, a little nervous. Armin Sarukian might fraud check. Be careful, brother. This guy different. He's from mountains. He didn't go 2-3 years Dagestan and forgets. Whole life, brother, Dagestan mountain wrestling, brother. Trust me, this guy's going to beat him. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? But jokes aside, I actually do think he's unbeatable. I think he's going to retire unbeaten. I think he can beat a lot of people despite weight class, just how talented he is and how good he is at multiple facets of fighting and how physically strong he is. But let me know what you guys think, because I'm curious of what you guys think about Islam. I know, oh, dude, Kenny with the glaze, dude. You only glaze him because he's Nigerian, Kenny. All right, buddy. But let me know what you guys think. That's it for me. Have a good one and God bless. 2, 3, 4.